12 years. Maybe you'll have it in 12, 13 years, maybe. Like, it's still going to happen, and it's going to happen slightly, maybe slightly later. It's not really true. So, again, like, the idea, like, these people, these bankers, these financial people, like, these people are funding his campaign. That's what makes him so dangerous. He has views that are absolutely untenable for someone who's supposed to be leading the American left. Is what he's doing. Leading. This is what the Democratic nomination to pretty much lead the American left, ostensibly into this fight against Donald Trump, literally for really sold the country and all that. It's cannot, under any circumstances, be led by Joe Biden. Like, it just can't be, because he is so bad. Just in the day after he participates in the climate town hall, he's going to go to a fossil fuel. It boggles the mind how this guy. People need to know this. Like, people need to really know this. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Really is. Anyway, so yeah, let's calm down a little bit and move on to our brand new favorite show that is back, The View. And of course, it's only been around for like 2 days, and there has already been a ton of amazing moments, or really two. Bernie Sanders was on this morning. Sanders made a fair point that Donald Trump kind of sucks, while also saying he has conservative friends. McCain, obviously, Meghan McCain, had to step in there. I'm sorry, I need to interject. McCain, she's full of predicting mass violence if anyone tries to take people's assault weapons away. Said she's curious about bipartisanship, and asked Sanders to name some of those conservative pals. This kind of unreal exchange occurred. He said, Johnny Isaacson of Georgia, who's recently retiring. Meghan McCain, he's retiring. Your dad was somebody who I worked with. But they're dead, and now or not, she says, Johnny is not dead. I know, but he's leaving. Like, Johnny is not dead. Sanders named Lamar Alexander. But again, he's really just struggle there, which I think is a good thing, because Republicans today they're not your friends. You shouldn't be working. I don't like the idea of them like fraternizing with Republicans, like outside of the sphere. Here's how it played out.
Because Nancy Pelosi is now saying that the moderate is the one that basically is the most elected.
Well, I love Nancy, but she and I disagree on this issue. I think the way you beat Donald Trump,
so diplomatic.
And I must say that in my view, Donald Trump is the most dangerous president probably in the history of this country.
We agree.
And it gives me no pleasure to say this. It really does not, because I have conservative friends who I like and respect. But Trump
Can I hear any in Congress or the Senate? I'm generally curious about bipartisanship. Can you name one?
Johnny Isaacson of Georgia, who's recently retired.
I was like, he's retired.
Johnny is your dad was somebody I work with.
But they're dead and now not.
Johnny is
anymore.
Not dead.
I know, but he's not. He's leaving.
Yes.
They resign. They retire.
Look, even somebody like a George W. Bush, who was a very conservative
anyone
guy.
in office that if you were
in
president, you would
office.
work with on the other side.
Lamar Alexander.
Okay.
All right. Lamar is head of the committee that I'm on, the Health, Education, Labor Committee. Lamar is a conservative Republican. Lamar is not a liar. Lamar is not a sexist. He's not a racist. He's not a homophobe. He's a conservative guy. It's called American politics. So I, work with your dad. I work with other people on issues where we can come together. That's what I think American politics is supposed to be about. But you have a president today, and again, it gives me no joy to say this. He is a pathological liar. Yeah. And when people ask me, what do you think about what Trump said 5 minutes ago in a tweet, I say, I'm not going to say anything, because 10 minutes from now he's going to change his view. I can't comment. Yeah. This is not the kind of temperament or personality that we should have in the White House,
Absolutely
in my view.
True.
Yes, that's a little bit of a longer clip there, but I do like the idea. Like, there are some things that people can come together. Bernie Sanders and Mike Lee, for example. Mike Lee, pretty repulsive views in a lot of arenas, but they came together to stop the war in Yemen. Like that, like those are things we come on together to work with people on. Like, for example, is like awful views on healthcare, like extreme or kind of like extremist on healthcare, but like. you can come together with things like that. Like, but you shouldn't come together for the sake of coming together. Like, that's just stupid, because you need to have your own ideals. You need to have your own positions that you need to fight for. It's not your whole ideology, which is what I worry about with Joe Biden, is just about, let's come together. They're good Republicans. Let's just come together for the sake of coming together and getting something done. Like, that's like the big fetish in, like, kind of old Washington. It's like, it's getting something done. We're getting something done. But mostly getting something done is cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, cutting Medicaid, starting another war, increasing the defense budget, taxes on tax breaks for the rich, deregulation on Wall Street. That's what they come together over 99.9% of the time. It's nothing good, except for obviously in a few cases, like when Bernie and Mike Lee came together to stop the war in Yemen, or at least try to stop U.S. involvement in the war in Yemen. Anyway, like, that's good. That is good, but you cannot just come together for the sake of coming together, because that's how we got the situation we got in the Democratic Party. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, we have more. Meghan McCain, again, back on it. It really has been a month since The View took their break. The vacation has given Meghan McCain enough time to try out some catchy new jabs at gun violence activists following 2 mass shootings. I love this. As the chick on this panel who spent most of her break shooting, I look forward to talking about this. Yes! Oh my god. Oh my god.
Another mass shooting, the latest in Odessa, Texas, left 7 dead and 23 wounded. But you know who seems to be changing his stance on strengthening bonds? Let's take a look.
This is emergency system. It just went out of there. Apologize for that.
And so I'm trying to understand.
You know, and Mitch McConnell. They will allow gun owners to store.
Because Mitch McConnell will not.
Is this Sonny Hostin, the best host? I think,
he will not allow a vote on anything.
Which he's right.
He's beholden to the NRA.
He's got to go.
He is.
Kentucky.
All right. As the chick on the panel that spent most of her break shooting, I look forward to talking about this. I want to say first and foremost, I actually think in media there should be a person, the way you assign beats in journalism. I actually think there should be a gun beat, because there's a lot of people on TV talking about guns that clearly have never shot a gun, don't know the difference between a semi-assault rifle and assault rifle. Vice President Biden, as you were saying, he actually said that
it's honestly really not that hard to figure out. Like, if you get the assault rifle, like, you kind of get the idea that it's a little less powerful. It's a semi-assault. I don't even know if the semi-assault rifle is even a thing. But anyway.
Have a complete and total assault weapons ban. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives doesn't even define the term assault weapon, so that could basically mean any gun other than, I guess, a musket in any way. So I think people need to start getting really specific. Beto O'Rourke wants to have a complete and total, I call it gun grabbing, but he wants to have a mandatory gun buyback. The government didn't own the guns to begin with. How do you think you're going to come to somebody's house, and what are you going to pay? It just doesn't seem like that's rational conversation.
They did in
for
Australia.
someone like me, I also want to say, you're talking about the NRA. As someone who's a lifetime member, there's actually a lot of controversy going on in the NRA, the way the money's being spent.
Yeah.
The guy's wife apparently used some of the funding for her to travel with her hair and makeup team. So again, as someone who's been a proud NRA member.
That's the problem with the NRA. Like, oh my gosh, the wife, the Wayne LaPierre spent money appropriately. Not the fact that he pays our president and tons of other, like every single Republican politician in office today, money all the time, so that they refuse to do anything about mass shooting. Like, that's the problem. Yeah, sure. Like, she goes on.
Is given a lot of money. I have a lot of problems with the way the money is being allocated at the moment, having nothing to do with Second Amendment rights. And I will just say, this is a ground level issue for me. If you're going to be a gun grabber, you don't get my vote. Period. We got to have a different conversation. Which is what Beto O'Rourke and I interpret many other candidates to be.
Whenever there has been any movement on guns, like under Clinton, he enacted the federal assault weapons ban in 1994.
She pretty much just goes on to say there's going to be a revolution if people try to take my guns. Thank you very much, and such, and this and that. All right, yeah, that's it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you on Sunday, where we will have a guest. Just don't know who it's going to be yet.